Mick Schumacher won't secure a seat in a Formula One car. McLaren expects significant progress from Oscar Piastri. Red Bull believes that other teams have discovered the secrets of their cars. You'll find out all about it in this video. Mick Schumacher is now entering his second consecutive season without being the main driver for any team. After a disappointing 2022 season with Haas, he lost his seat and failed to convince other teams that he would be a strong contender for their lead driver position. Few are willing to put a driver behind the wheel who has crashed a car so many times in their previous team. Even if we don't take into account the accidents and attribute everything to high pressure and a complex car, Mick still lacks a major argument to convince teams to sign a contract with him, and that's speed. Mick is far from being the fastest and most stable driver in the field, which simultaneously closes the door to top teams that require fast and stable drivers, as well as to midfield teams that need consistently decent results with a minimum of costly crashes. Perhaps the best option for Mick was a role as a reserve driver for one of the teams, and that's what happened. In the 2023 season, Mick served as a reserve driver for Mercedes, testing their car in the simulator and assisting in finding the right car setups. According to Toto Wolff, Mick made good progress last year and learned a lot. Working in a professional team and constant practice in the simulator allowed him to gain experience and work on the mistakes he made in 2022. It seemed that 2024 could be an opportunity for Mick to return as a main driver. One of the options was a place in the Williams team to replace Logan Sargent, who had a less than stellar season, even by rookie standards. Unfortunately for Mick, this did not materialize. Therefore, remaining as a reserve driver for Mercedes and being relatively free, Mick signed a contract with the Alpine team to participate in the World Endurance Championship. This will be a step forward and will allow him to return to racing in the A424 hypercar, but Mick's main focus remains on Formula One. The partnership with Alpine suggests that he could potentially secure a seat in one of the Alpine cars, at least for testing. However, Alpine team principal Bruno Famin has refuted such assumptions, stating that the contract they have with Schumacher pertains only to hypercar races, and any Formula One car tests will be conducted by reserve driver Jack Doohan. We don't plan because we have a reserve driver with Jack Doohan, and Mick is the Mercedes reserve driver. The contract we have with Mick is exclusively for endurance. Bruno Famin also does not think that there will be a place in the team in 2025. Alpine is quite satisfied with Esteban and Pierre and currently has no plans to replace them. Will Mick secure a place as a main driver for any team in the coming years? Could he possibly become a temporary replacement for Lewis Hamilton in 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments. Unlike Mick Schumacher, Oscar Piastri has no issues securing a place as a main driver in a team. Moreover, many are willing to compete for him and try to lure him to their team. Even before his Formula One debut, it was clear that he was very talented and had all the potential to become a top driver. It's no wonder there was a real struggle for him, and his departure from Alpine was a real blow to the team that nurtured him and invested a lot of effort in his development. McLaren's ability to acquire such a promising young driver has become a real achievement for the team, and now they hope for rapid progress from Piastri. The previous season provided positive signals and belief that the Australian would indeed progress rapidly, and perhaps McLaren would have the strongest driver pairing in the field. In his debut season, Oscar stood on the podium twice and even became one of those who could defeat Max Verstappen and claim victory, albeit not in a Grand Prix, but in a sprint race. Such results instill confidence in one's abilities, and some setbacks allow for learning from mistakes and becoming even stronger. The new season is just beginning. Testing in Bahrain has concluded, and the team can already compare how Oscar was at the beginning of last season and how he is now. According to team principal Andrea Stella, Oscar has progressed significantly and has more self-awareness. We have seen, if I compare to last year in Bahrain, much more, let's say, self-awareness. Like understanding where the limit of the car is, where the limit in terms of him being a rookie is. Sometimes when you are a rookie, You need to explore so many options in terms of driving that you are not sure if it's me, that I need to drive in a different way, or is it the car that needs to behave in a different way? I feel now he is much more aware, much more rapidly of, I need to adapt in this way, in this place, but the car needs to do this for me. So this awareness has definitely improved. Piastri also agrees with his progress. The Australian believes that thanks to the experience gained in the previous season, he now understands himself and his car much better and can identify precisely what needs improvement. When you've got the experience to compare to, it gives you a much quicker baseline and a much better baseline on whether it's something with the car or something with me. And because there's so many things that are still similar or the same as last year, it makes that quite easy to kind of pick up. And also, just with a year of experience in anything, that self-awareness becomes much better. Such progress cannot but please both McLaren and Oscar himself. All that is needed now is to ensure good development of the team and the car. With such a competitive car that was in the team at the end of the previous season, Oscar will be able to gain even more experience in the fight for podiums and future victories. In the Red Bull team, it is believed that many teams have already learned the secret of success of the current generation of cars. This year, many teams have introduced radical changes to their cars, and some have even completely changed their concept in an attempt to reduce the gap to Red Bull. The cars are becoming more and more similar to last year's RB19, which was one of the most dominant cars in Formula One history. However, simply copying someone else's car is not a guarantee of success, as it is necessary to understand why this concept works. Many teams had trouble with this, but it seems that they have finally uncovered this secret. Red Bull's technical director, Pierre Wash, believes that some of the development paths used by other teams, such as Mercedes's anti-wing, indicate that they have understood what made his team's previous cars so good. I don't know if they understood what we did, but I think they understood from what I saw in the development of their cars. Even if it's not exactly the same path, because I'm sure we are not right everywhere. They have found their own path in the sense that you develop a tool or certain paths of development, based on the issues you have and based on your understanding. The understanding of the secret of success of the current generation of cars by other teams has become one of the reasons why Red Bull dared to undergo such an aggressive evolution of their car. The team was not sure if simply refining the RB19 would give them a car with which they could easily win the championship, but even now they are closely watching other teams. In particular, Pierre Wash noted the significant progress of Ferrari, who seem to have very good race pace. So it's too early to say that this season will be easy for the Red Bull team. Perhaps we overestimated their new car and underestimated the developments of other teams. Therefore, we eagerly await the Bahrain Grand Prix to assess what the new cars of the teams are truly capable of. That's all for today. Did you like the video? Give it a like and subscribe. Let's follow the latest news from Formula One together.